Watched it a minute ago, and I was entertained. I won't lie. I mean, it has some boring sections. So what I'm gonna do is this. I kind of want to get away from being the reviewer who reviews every little scene, like everything or whatever. I just kind of want to touch on the important parts because I don't care about all of this shit. I ain't even gonna lie. I just don't care about all of it. So they're on their way to this trip where Tommy was like, pack your bags or whatever. And I just want to point out a couple things I noticed on the road trip. And first of all, what's her name? Mercedes sound like Malaysia because I wasn't looking at the TV when I heard her speaking, and I'm like Malaysia, and then I look up and it was Mercedes. It kind of goes off and on where she don't sound like Malaysia all the time, but she sounded like her when I wasn't looking. What's his name? Tony, a little aggressive ass Tony. Little Tony, what's wrong, Tony? But we gonna get there. But he looks already annoyed in the car. And then I heard Lyndon's voice in the car, and I'm like, oh, that's why. Tony is very worried about Lyndon, even though he tries to act like he is so secure and he's such a man. And that's another thing I want to touch on. Tony saying that he's an alpha man, and you gotta talk like this, and we gotta be like, cause I'm an alpha man. Like alpha men who say they're alpha men. Does that make sense? I don't like an alpha man that's running around saying, "Oh, because I'm an alpha man." No, I feel like a real alpha man is just girls that Morgan said in the car. She's a bad bitch, and I'm like, no, you're a crazy bitch. Boss energy and whatever. I don't know. But yes, yeah, so they end up getting there, and they're like in the woods and stuff, and mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I would have been a spoiled ass sport, and whoever was my connection would have been like, ugh, this is a different side of you, cause I'd have been out there like, now why we get this shit? Why we have to come here in the woods and they ain't do this to nobody else? Nah, I'm for real. Like they'd have been trying to calm me down, like you don't know what's gonna come. Like nah, because I'm a spoiled sport, especially when it comes to outdoor stuff, like stuff with bugs and everything. All right, y'all. So they end up getting on the airboat. Tommy comes in the airboat or whatever and lets them know that they're ditching the cars. Now you're going to get to your place by airboat. Again, I'm not a team player and I'm not a good sport. And I would definitely have had an attitude with this whole thing. And the way he was driving, I feel like I definitely would have turned around and been like, I'm telling y'all, I would have been so fucking annoying to everybody else because I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. But so they end up making it to the place. It's nice. Of course, they do the whole thing of running around, to find bedrooms, which I don't like that either. Like I'm over it. I'm over it on every single show. We gotta rip and run to find bedrooms. Fuck out of here with that. Let's talk about the fact that I did not like the whole Tony and Lyndon playing for Tony talking about he want to play for where she's gonna sleep. Are you kidding me? Like that right there would have been the start of an issue for me because who are you talking to? Like I'm a prize. I mean, I am a prize, but you know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to talk about me like I'm an object and like I'm just up for grabs and no, absolutely not. So I thought that was disrespectful. I guess she liked it. She was laughing, she was enjoying it. Two men fighting over her or whatever, or playing pool for her, but I didn't like it. Like you're not going to tell me who I'm going to sleep with, even if it is just sleeping in the same bed with. And then, not to mention, I'm sorry, if I'm on one of these trips, y'all, I'm not trying to sleep with the person that I'm interested in. I want a room so I can be comfortable and do whatever I need to do. I need to put my do rag on. I need to wrap my hair up. Like, I need to do all these things. And I don't know you well enough to be all in the bed with you. I'm sorry. I don't want to do it. But she found it cute. Tony won, and he's all going, my alpha male, this and that, or whatever. He's showing his insecurities like crazy about being so worried about Lyndon. Like even when they got on the boat, she's like, "Oh, I wonder how Tony gonna feel because he's real irritated already with Lyndon and the fact that Lyndon is always grabbing me up." Well, you're Lyndon's only connection too. So there it is. You have two, but you're the only one for both of these guys. So yeah, it's gonna put you in a situation that Tony's just gonna have to deal with. You're on a goddamn show. Little aggressive Tony. Calm down. Like he is definitely like a little pit bull for real. And I don't want to say he kind of built like a pit bull, but if you like picture it, no, no, too far. All right, let's talk about lunch real quick and the fact that um, before Morgan sat down, Tony's already at the table and he tells her to come here, come sit next to me. She goes to sit next to him, and then Lyndon goes to sit next to her. And Tony is over there. He's not having a fit, like where he is hooping and hollering and acting a fool, being embarrassing. He's letting her know, though, saying little comments that possibly Lyndon can pick up about the fact that, why is he here? He's all over you. Yes, dumbass. This is his only connection as well. So Lyndon is just like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about Tony being over there or whatever. I'm going to sit next to her. She got a chair open next to her. I'm going. And I'm not mad at Lyndon for that. So he's all upset. She calls him outside later on after the lunch, and she's talking to him like, listen, you don't need to be acting a fool and this and that. Like, what'd you want me to do? I came and sat next to you. He's like, yeah, but he's all up on you. Okay, calm down, Tony, first of all. And when I say calm down, I don't mean that he was like having a fit. Once again, he's not loud. He honestly never really changes his tone of voice. He's just aggressive as shit. He's just a little aggressive guy. And you could just tell that he is so insecure when it comes to Lyndon right now. Like he's a little scared. So she's telling him, you know, to calm down as well, and you don't have to act a fool and act like you got some home training. And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, this kind of rubbed me the wrong way as well, because I'm gonna shoot him bail again. Once again, he never, was super loud. He wasn't embarrassing her in terms of, saying things or whatever out loud to the group and being like this aggressive like that. But he was making her uncomfortable because he's saying shit in her left ear while she got the guy on the right. Like he was doing some things to make her uncomfortable. But the way she was coming off was like he was really, really, really wilding. And he wasn't. And I'm sorry. I had an ex who would always say stuff like that, like, man, you are really tripping, you wild, and you can come if you just don't act a fool, this and that. Fuck you mean don't act a fool? I don't ever act a fool. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm not going to embarrass myself. So I know for a fact I don't ever act a fool. Just because you know and I let you know that there's an issue don't mean everybody knows. And it don't mean that I am ever out here acting a fool. So I take issue with that because I understand what Tony means in that. However, he is aggressive as shit. So I kind of will allow it. But she can't talk because she is too. She's just crazy as all get out. So maybe they belong together. All right, now we're at the dinner. Okay, we're at the dinner where um, Lyndon starts off the conversation about somebody having to go home, and he's like, Tony, who would you send home? And I'm like, please do not start with Tony. Like, don't antagonize this little man because he's already just on 1,000. Leave him alone. But no, he asked Tony, and they like, dang, you just getting out to the point. So they end up going back and forth a little bit in terms of if Marcy was still here, and then what's his name? Tony gets upset because it seems as if like Lyndon is kind of coming at him or whatever. And he's like, how do you feel about the fact that I have a deeper connection to Morgan than you do? How do you feel about that? Let's talk about that. And he's like, and of course, everybody's like, oh my God, oh my God. And he's like, how do you feel about the fact that I've kissed her 3, 4, 5 times and you haven't? And now he's crossed the line. I'm sorry. Now you are definitely embarrassing her at the table. And she did. She put her hands over her face like, oh my God. Like, no, he is constantly talking about her like she's an object. Like, to me, at this point, it don't even seem like he want her or like her. You just want to win. You just want to win this competition. And as Lyndon says later on, it is my dick is bigger than yours, competition at the table. And I feel like that is now more important than her to him. Like, it's just ridiculous. So ends up saying, where Lyndon comes out with, well, why'd you say that if Marcy was still here, I can have Morgan? And he's like, I did say that because I was mad at the time, but Morgan has always been my number one. If that ever comes out of your mouth and it's told to me at the table with everybody here, oh, you're going home. Dude, I'm done with you. You're going home. That on top of the fact you sitting up here embarrassing me, now you really are doing way too much. Mm-mm. Yeah, Tony is so out of bounds. He's so out of bounds. So she ends up being like, "Hello, I am here. Y'all talking about me like I'm not, because then they end up talking about what bed she's gonna be sleep, like just crazy stuff. Talking about her like she's an object. She's like, I'm here, I'm here. She's screaming. They're still not really paying her any attention. They're going back and forth about Marcy and all of that or whatever. So she ends up going and leaving. I can't remember who goes with her. Was it Cynthia? I don't know. But somebody goes with her, and then Lyndon comes. He apologized to her, and okay, great. He didn't mean to put her in that, that kind of position, and that was very nice of him. I'll just say that. Then later on, Tony goes into the room and he's talking to her, and she's like, "Did you say that?" He's like, "Yeah, but I was just mad. You've always been my number one connection, this and that." And she's not giving it. She's just like, "Well, what you said was like mad rude, and well, you know what? I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I'm not gonna sit up here and argue with you." Now, Tony, little ass, would have definitely had to get out of my room the way he was acting. All right, so just to wrap that up, she says that, Cynthia made a good point in the fact that how someone treats you when they're mad is, how they feel about you or whatever. And she's like, "You don't treat me nice when you're mad." He's like, "Listen, I'm just not going to go back and forth with you." And they constantly showing him drinking. Constantly showing him drinking. I don't know if that's on purpose or what, but he's constantly taking a swig. And he's like, "You're entertaining this guy in my face." Dude, oh my God. Like, how dumb are you? How many times we got to say it is a competition? It is a show. You know what you signed up for. That is what she is supposed to be doing. That is what she has to do. You sound stupid. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if these people just be on this show just to be on TV for real, or what. But all of this acting like we are just at home dating 101 is crazy to me. Like, he just sounds crazy. And he leaves all pissed off or whatever. This is over. This conversation is over. Motherfucker didn't leave. You in my room. Bye. Go. And so she, of course, is just sitting there looking crazy because she is a little crazy. No, she is a lot of crazy. I'm sorry. Morgan so far wins for Crazy Town of this whole show. She's even crazier than. Nah, I don't know if she crazier than. Y'all remember that lady, the chocolate lady with the short hair that was real, real, real aggressive on that one season. I can't remember her name, but did she look like Lil Boosie? Who she look like? She likes, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so we end up wrapping up with the guys talking to Tommy because one of the girls got to go home. So who's on the bottom? Sue and Sue and Mercedes. And I would love for either one of them to go home. I don't care. I don't give a shit about Mercedes. I don't give a shit about Sue. I don't care about none of them actually. It's so funny. But I mean, Sue Ann, I would love to have her go home just because I don't like her. I just don't like her. I'm sorry. I don't like Advocate Sue. Jeffrey could go. A lot of them could just go. Cynthia, I like Cynthia. I'm gonna leave Cynthia, even though they're not really featuring Cynthia a whole heck of a lot. She has this connection with Andre still. But yeah, so that's where we're at, and I'm sick of them leaving it on a cliffhanger with who's going home. That ain't what we signed up for. God damn it, we're supposed to see who's going home at the end of this stuff. Like, come on, this is ridiculous. Who y'all think is going home though? Is it gonna be Susu or Mercedes? Who does Mercedes have? She has Mark Anthony, and I feel like Mark Anthony has a big voice when he's in the men's room. So I feel like maybe he would speak up and try to keep her on, because does Mark Anthony have any other connections? I can't remember. But I just really feel like, Susu should go home. But either way, we'll see what happens. All right, you guys, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It is absolutely free of charge. Like the video, it does wonders for my analytics. You guys, please like the video. Let's get it out there and comment. Let's talk about it. Let's see, what you guys are feeling. Are you guys ready for this to be over? Are we over Ready to Love? Yeah, I'll be watching other reviewers or whatever, and I feel like everybody is just pretty much over Ready to Love. The whole premise of the show, the way that it's set up and everything, like I've been saying, I don't like it. It's just difficult to get into. And then the fact that we know that they have so many more off-camera situations going on that we don't get to see and everything that really does matter. I don't know. I just feel like Ready Love can take a huge break and then maybe come back. We'll see. But again, please like, comment, subscribe. If you are still here, you are the real MVP. And I will see you guys in the next video, which is actually, I'm going to do a quick video. I don't know if it'll be today, maybe tonight, on Swarm. Swarm. Why can't I say that? Swarm. So cute. How cute is it that it is about the beehive, basically, and a killer bee? We're going to talk about it. All right, you guys. See you guys in the next video. Smooches.